guy behind has just done a 202.44. The pit exit is clear, pushed out, sector 1 is green flag in sector 2. The brakes are cold, be careful. New fastest lap for Ramos, 159.48. Your tyres are cold, watch out. Yellow flag in sector 2. We think Bahrain has gone off. Green flag sector 2. Yellow flag in sector 3. Sector 2 is yellow. Yellow flag in sector 1. Green flag sector 3. We can see Luke has binned it. Green flag sector 1. Green flag sector 2. You've got about 4 laps of fuel left. New fastest lap for Ramos, 159.36. Sector 2, yellow flag. Green flag in sector 2. Yellow flag. Sector 2 is clear. Yellow flag, sector 1. Brake temperatures are fine. We think that Mario has stepped in. Alright Clay, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. That's your best in the session. Sector 1 is clear. Yellow flag, sector 2. 3 laps of fuel remaining. We think that Schwarzinger has binned it. There's a car behind. Take care, rejoin him. Green flag, sector 2. Blue flag. Got cold brakes all round. Yellow flag. It looks like Mario and Perez have stacked it. Green flag in sector 1. To go, 2 minutes. Incident in sector 1. Sector 1 is yellow. We think Schenke has binned it. Green flag sector 1. Sixth place. Sector 2 is now yellow. Sector 2 is now green. It looks like Schenke has stacked it. Yellow flag in sector 2. Incident in sector 3. Sector 3 is yellow. Sector 1 is 0.46 off the pace. We think Schenke has gone off. Sector 2 is clear. Sector 2, yellow flag. We can see Ventio has spun off. Sector 2 is now green. That's the end of the session, P5.
Figured out where I can pick up some extra time. Ah, it froze. Looks like the event starts in 3 minutes. Okay. All right. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless one of the man Lincoln Clay. We're back for another live stream of LeMans Ultimate using the MetaQuest 3, as I believe I'm probably done with the Quest Pro. This week I had a few disconnects in the middle of races. One of them you saw live, and that's not gonna cut it, especially with the driver swap race being around the corner. So we are returning. Better way of putting it, we have GTE races this week, which is my favorite class, and this week we have races at Bahrain. While Bahrain isn't my favorite track, but it's not a bad track at all. It's Qatar that I'm not that's the one that I'm not a fan of. So we've got 24. Oh, and by the way, I made it back to silver, as you can see. So I had a race yesterday, and it was a really good race. I was aggressive, a little more aggressive than I wanted to be, but I didn't have a choice because the pace was that fast. I would say that the GTE races, in my opinion, I think a case could be made that pound for pound, it is one of the more competitive classes on LeMans Ultimate. But I will definitely say, since a lot of the GTE races are usually taking place within the intermediate or advanced races, and then the fact that anybody who uses these GTEs knows that there's no ABS, people are a little more disciplined. One second, folks. Okay, so this race coming up here takes place at 6:45 Eastern time. I originally planned to do the 7:45 race, but since and I was going to take a nap, but hey, I managed to stay awake, so I decided to go ahead and do it now. Let's see here, and I'm curious to see what my rank is going to be coming into this session. And yeah, I think I figured out where I might be able to pick up some rank. I mean, not rank, time. So, oh boy, I come into this session ranked 9th.
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. The pit exit's clear. We've got cold brakes all round. Be careful. Yellow flag sector 2. Green flag sector 2. Yellow flag. Green flag, sector 1. That's the end of the session. 8th place.
All right. Let's get out there and set a solid lap.
Their exit looks clear. Stay behind the line. Okay, Clay. We've got 7 minutes to set a lap. The brakes are cold. Be careful. Clear left. Clear left. P8. Clear left. 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. Clear left. Car up right side's clear. Right side's clear. just done 158.26.
Oh my God.
The guy in front has just done 2:00.6 seconds. B7, only 2 more laps of fuel. Sector 3 is 0.8 off the pace. That lap time was 2:01.72. Tyres, we need to get some heat into them.
Andreas said, "Hey Link, how's it going?"
How you doing?
Brake temperatures are okay. Just done at 157.80, just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go. You've only got enough fuel for this lap, 14th. The guy behind has just done at 2:00.9 seconds. Okay, pit stop requested. Clear left.
Andreas said,
Okay, Glenn, we need to watch these track
Quest
limits.
3. What did I miss?
A couple of times this week when I was using the Quest. Might as well leave it there. I'm not going to be able to do anything. This is going to be a rough one. I'm expected to qualify 9th, and at the moment I'm 10th, and there's still a lot of cars out there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh boy, this ain't gonna go well. Well, in terms of what you missed, so my Quest Pro that I normally use, I've gotten really irritated with that headset. So a lot of issues is with the controllers. I think with the Quest Pro, the controllers have to be constantly moving. If the controllers are not moving, so when I set them down on this table right here next to me, after a few minutes, I'll get notifications within a headset.
That's the end of the session, 10th position.
Telling me that it can't find the controllers. The headset will say controllers not found. I'll get notifications saying that there's not enough light, all that stuff. And if I don't grab the controllers and move it around so the headset knows where the controllers are, I think after a while it's almost like a timeout and the headset will disconnect. It is disconnected from the PC, and as a result, a couple of days ago, right in the middle of a race, the headset disconnected and I crashed right into a wall. And so I'm fed up with it. These Quest 3 controllers seem to remain in constant contact with the headset. I never get any notifications within this Quest 3. The benefits of using the Quest 3 versus the Quest Pro is that the Quest 3 has a louder audio, a wider field of view at 105 degrees, and is capable of going up to 120 frames per second. The benefits of using the Quest Pro over the Quest 3 is that it has many LED panels, which are local dimming, which gives it better colors. And while the audio is not as loud as the Quest...
And drivers go to the grid for a race start.
While the audio isn't as loud as the Quest 3, it does have a little bit more bass. Look at that, I'm 13th. Holy moly.
Andreas said, "Oh damn. That was your workhorse. My Crystal Super came yesterday. Quest 3 collecting dust now."
Actually, I'm not really losing anything going to the Quest 3 from the Quest Pro. You know, as I said, the only as far as using the Quest Pro as a headset, as a PC headset, the only advantage it gave me over the Quest 3 was that the colors were a little, you know, the colors had a little bit more pop. You know, I don't use the eye and face tracking of the Quest Pro. And
Formation lap has started.
the fact that it goes up to 90 hertz is inconsequential versus the 120 versus the Quest 3, because I don't go to 120 frames, because a locked 90 is better than 120 that's not locked. And I had never been so mad in my life at that Quest Pro headset when it disconnected in the middle of a race when I was caught up in a very tough fight. It picked the worst time to disconnect on me.
Green flag. Green flag.
Left, clear left. Clear left. Clear left. Clear left. Lefts are clear left. Left's clear left. Clear left. Car left. Clear left.
Andreas said, "I would get momentary black when flashes on my Quest 3, but never disconnects."
Yeah, this Quest 3 has been reliable.
Clear left. Forget about that, it'll probably just polish out. Sector 3. Sector 3 is yellow. flag sector 3.
Lap 2, 14.40.
Science is leading the race. Okay, Clay, don't let this guy distract you. Yellow flag, sector 2. We think that Schenke and Schwartzberg made it, clear right. Green flag, sector 2. You had a bit of bodywork damage there. The car in front of us is now Luca. Sector 3 is now yellow. The stewards have warned us for cutting the track. Keep it between the white lines. We think that Schenke has gone off. Green flag in sector 3. The leader has just done a 2:00.1 seconds.
Lap 2, 0, 1.98.
Yeah, I got hit too.
Andreas
Stay between the lines,
Said.
please, Clay.
on the Crystal Super, I missed the Quest 3's pass-through J software and controllers.
Oh yeah. Oh, he must have broke something.
Clear left.
Lap 2, 0, 1.72.
The guy in front is Darren. We've been warned about track limits. flag, keep your wits about you, mate. It looks like Luke has crashed. Green flag, sector 2. Yellow flag, sector 3. Sector 3 is now clear.
That time was a 2.56.
Ooh, I'm losing. Damn it!
Incident in sector 2, yellow flag. We think that Shenki has binned it. The gap to E8 in front is now 0.7. Clay, no chances here. Let's make sure we can take them. That's 20 minutes to go.
And I got a flat spot.
Time 201.02. Gap to E8, ahead is now 1.2. Sector 3 is yellow. We think that Corsair and Garage have gone off. Sector 3 is clear, green flag. Okay, Clay, the next car is brown. The gap to E9 behind
behind is increasing. It's now 2.6 P8. Flag in sector 1. It looks like Shenki has crashed. Green flag in sector 2. We can see Christensen has binned it. The next car is Luca. Flag in sector 2. Green flag in sector 2. The gap to Luca ahead is increasing. It's now 1.5. Green flag in sector 1. Seventh position. Alright, Clive, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes. Don't think about the lap times, just hit each and every apex. That's halfway. Halfway home. Fuel looks good. Sector 2 is now yellow. We think Grace has spun off. The gap in front is now 1.3 seconds. seconds.
0.95.
Okay, Clay, that's good consistency. Keep it up. You've got half your fuel left. Ahead is now 1.5 seconds. 10 minutes remaining, 10 minutes. That was out 2:00.9 seconds. Yellow flag.
Oh, overshot it.
Sector 1 is green. Pay attention to track limits, please, Clay. Alright Clay, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. The gap in front is now 1.2. That was at 2:00.8. Stewards have warned us about track limits. Keep it between the lines.
Ah!
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
That time was a 2:01.00.
Tidy, please, Clay. 26, and there's the finish. Good result, mate, well done. Acknowledged, pit stop requested. The pit crew is ready.
What a race. I didn't think I was going to be able to get that overtake done. He went wide, and I was surprised I was able to slip underneath him. But I give him credit, though, because when we were side by side, he backed out of it. I mean, I was getting ready to back out of it, but since he backed out first, I kept going. Solid finish. So I should be able to still, I'm hoping I should still be able to get some positive rank from this. All right, everybody's accounted for. Let's go see what we got. I'm going to do this one more time. How many people are in this one, though? Only 3? I'm just not into the P2 cars. I'm just not into it. Only 5 cars, but I'm still going to do it again. With our trusty VR Vikings Corvette, courtesy of Hernez Catones, who designed this car and sent it to me. So seems like something's missing here. Oh. Yeah, the showroom. All right. Should be able to see what I got for rank by now. So I took 6. And the fastest lap, holy shit, 158.8. That was like 1.4 off of that. Here's a 159.3. $205.9. What did I have? Two. Yeah, so I'm right there in the middle of the pack. Let's see what we get for the rank. Only 2%, but ugh. It's better than losing. It's better than losing rank. Yeah. I think if we hadn't finished where we did, we would have lost rank. So, right there, IMSA. that was something I had been meaning to talk about, folks. That I think that LeMans Ultimate possibly has an IMSA license in its future. This game is really taking off more and more every single day. I'm starting to see more and more LMU streams, LMU videos. This game is really taking off, and I'm really happy for it because I was definitely somebody who believed in this game from the start, and I'm happy to see it grow. And I guess patting myself on the back, I feel like I was one of the pioneers. I was definitely one of the pioneers when it came to the VR aspect of this game, because when the game first launched, the VR was not available, but I was still able to access it. And even though the VR didn't look good, I was still doing races. I was still streaming these races. I was still monitoring the optimization of the VR. And that was so cool for Stephen Hood to acknowledge us when he gave one of his update videos, and he said, "We know that some of you have access to hidden VR." He said, "Keep doing it. We want you to keep doing it." And we said we've added a few new features, we've optimized it, and we think you'll like it. Let us know what you think. And that was so cool for him to acknowledge us. And Stephen Hood is becoming more and more of he's definitely the face of LeMans Ultimate, as well as being the CEO. More and more people are liking him. And when he gave his latest update on the future of LeMans, I saw people in the comments. I saw like Jardier saying "Let's go." I saw Reverend Sim Racing in there. I saw one comment where they called Stephen Hood our Lord Savior Hood. It was pretty good. I addressed him as Mr. Hood, so really cool. And I think right now the only game that may be, as far as any new games coming up, I think the Endurance Motor Series might be the only game that could be a competitor to LeMans Ultimate, because I see LeMans Ultimate as an endurance simulator, where I think that is the focus of the game, is endurance races, where they've got the sprint races mixed in with it. All right, folks, I'm going to grab a drink. I'll be right back. When we start the next race, there's a part of me that wants to use the Coach Dave setup, but it actually has more wing. The wing was set to P5, whereas with the LeMans setup, it was set to P3. And I think I'm just going to stick with that. So, I think no. Yeah. It's P3. I think I don't know. I have to look up something real quick. So yeah, I think the LeMans had it at 3. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Coach Dave setup next time. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was at P5. So that should give me a little bit more downforce. Therefore making the car a little bit faster and hopefully keep it stuck to the ground a little bit. That is so scary with these GTE cars that do not have ABS. Trying to navigate the brakes when there's a car right on your ass. I mean, you're trying to wait till the very, very last second to hit the brakes so they don't try to slip underneath you. But you can't wait too late. And if you do wait too late, you're going to end up having to hit the brakes too hard and run the risk of a lockup. And I think when you lock up the wheels in this game and you get a flat spot, it's basically a slow death. Any cars that can match your pace that's behind you, they eventually will walk you down. So, I don't know. I thought about streaming F125 this weekend. More so because I wanted to talk about the Christian Horner firing. And as more details emerge as we sift through the rubble, it turns out that Helmut Marko and Jos Verstappen are emerging as key figures that contributed to Christian Horner being fired. And Max too, but I want to ask the question, did Sky Sports also contribute to Christian Horner getting fired? So that's will be my focus if I decide to do that stream tomorrow. And something that I can talk about right now is, I think more, I was going to pose the question, are GT7 streamers defecting or converting over to Le Mans Ultimate? And in particular, I speak of the Key 25. He's starting to do more and more LMU streams. He absolutely loves the sim. He can't say enough great things about it. He thinks right now it is the best sim out there. And he says that, he won't abandon his GT7 viewers, but he's being honest and thinks that LMU is the best sim out there. The other GT7 streamer would be Digit Gaming. I think he sounds like he's Russian. Now he took a little bit. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's what we want. Now the way he's saying it, he's saying that he's still going to prioritize GT7, but he will mix LMU in there at least once a week. And whenever there's a week where he doesn't like the GT7 daily races, then he'll stream LMU that week. But I think that might be code word for get ready, you guys. I might be getting ready to switch over to this being my main sim. So
That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
the tank is still full.
Exit's clear. Don't cross the white line. The brake temperatures are low. We need to get some heat into them. Yellow flag, watch out. Looks like P6 has gone off. Sector 3 is yellow. We think Albert has been dead. Green flag in Sector 3. That's the end of the session, P3.
Wait a minute. I just noticed.
Miguel, Dad Drive S Bad, said, "Hi Lincoln, how's the racing tonight?"
Hey, I took 6th place last race. I just noticed something my Henez Catoni did. Now, my friend Henez Catoni made this car for me. This is one of our cars for our VR Vikings team. And I live in Michigan. I'm a Detroit Lions fan. And look at this, what he did on the mirrors. He put the Detroit Lions logo on the left mirror, and he put the Michigan State Spartans logo inside the other mirror. Oh, man, how cool is that? Thank you, Henez Catoni. Thank you so much. I just now noticed that. See, when I was in the practice lobby, the car's all black. Your custom liveries doesn't show up until the race.
Exit's clear. Stay behind the white line. We've got 7 minutes to do the business. Let's get some heat into these brakes.
Miguel, Dad Drive S Bad, said, "Nice details, 100 points."
Definitely.
Clear left.
Zain Malik said, "Hello.
How's it going? How you doing?
Track temperature's increasing. It's now 28 Celsius.
Oh, that hurt. Or did it?
That's 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes.
Oh shit, I'm ranked number 2 this match.
That's a new fastest lap for Ramos, 2 minutes. Sector 2 is 0.50 off the pace. The guy ahead has just done a 2:04.50.
And I got a flat spot.
Lap 2:13.
D10. The guy behind has just done a 2:08.00. Sector 1 is 0.27 off the pace. Okay, Clay, you've got half your fuel left. 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes. This is the last lap of fuel, B12, sector 3 to 10th off the pace. Okay, pit stop requested. Pit crew is ready.
Braking too late, trying to stretch it to the very end.
the end of the session, P4.
There are so many cars behind me. That 2 minutes and 9 seconds, that 2:09 is not going to hold up. And I come into this session ranked 4th. Thankfully, there's there's still 2 cars out there. So I still might be able to hang on to this fourth spot qualifying. I mean, the second lap is normally your first lap, so if anybody was going to beat me, they probably would have done it by now. Was still 4th. And you can see by the number 2, but then again, the number 1 ranked guy in here, he qualified 3rd, and he only beat me by a smidgen. All that being said, I actually have a legitimate chance to win this race.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Because I don't think this is one of the faster. I don't think this is one of the faster grids. So yeah, I qualified 4th. I'll take that. So, a little bit of context. You know, I mentioned it in this left mirror. We got the Detroit Lions logo, and over here to the right, we got the Michigan State logo. So, Hannes Catone, I believe, you know, we had some conversations, and his brother basically lived here in Grand Rapids. You know, it's Kentwood, which is right next to Grand Rapids, but sometimes, you know, they like to include the surrounding towns as part of Grand Rapids to make it look bigger. So he lived in Kentwood, which is probably like 10 minutes away from me.
Formation lap has started.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And I think for a while, I think Hannes Catone himself was a Michigan State fan because he did. I think he did live in Michigan for a while himself.
Dark Ensaw said, "Good luck."
Thank you, Dark Ensaw. How you been, my boy? I'm still coming to the Sim Gaming Expo on Saturday, so we gonna meet. We gonna come face to face, my boy. I don't like how close that Ferrari is behind me.
Green flag.
Go,
Green
nail it.
flag.
Come on, move.
Dark Ensaw said, "What are y'all running car-wise?" Ferrari.
I'm using, this is the GTE class.
Dark Ensaw said, "The Corvette."
Yeah, I'm using the Corvette.
exited in Sector 2. Sector 2 is yellow. Sector 2 is green.
This dude don't get enough of lunging in.
Make him do all the work. Focus on your exits. U4. Alright, Clay, the next car is Lloyd.
So I gotta get away from this dude, and I mean right now.
Gap to Lloyd. Ahead is now 1.6.
Oh.
Yellow flag in Sector 3. The leader has just done 2:00.24. We can see Ruler has gone off.
Yeah, I knew that aggressive idiot was gonna go off.
Sector 3 is green. The gap to Lloyd ahead is increasing. It's now 3.8 seconds. Track limits, watch those lines. Fastest lap for Ramos, 1:59.94.
Lap 2:00.97.
gap behind is now 1.1 seconds. Incident Sector 3, yellow flag. We think Phil has gone off. Okay, Clay, we just cut the track. Sector 3 is clear.
I am slow. I should have stuck with the LeMans setup. It was safer. The car was more stable.
Gap to P5, behind is now 5.5. Minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left.
Lap 2:01.74.
That's terrible.
About track limits. Don't polish out, mate. Forget about it.
These laps are getting worse and worse.
is now 4.9 seconds.
I'm getting slower each lap. Behind us now, 5.0 seconds. Okay, Clay, don't think about the lap times. Just hit each and every apex. 15 minutes left. We're halfway home. Just cut the track. Halfway home, the fuel is fine. Damn, I lost even more time. this race feel like it's taking forever.
Fastest lap for Ramos, 1:59.75. Last lap was at 2:01.90. Sector 1 is 0.8 off the pace. Sector 2 is 1.1 off the pace. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 3. P5. Behind is now 1.4 seconds. That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel. Okay, Clay, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
That time was a 2:01.77.
Damn it. The gap to P5 behind is now 6.0 seconds.
That lap was at 2:01.94. Considered sector 2, yellow flag. Sector 1 is 1.1 seconds off the pace.
Courtney
All right,
McGregor,
Clive, gone out of
gaming
train
with
limits. Keep
UNC,
between the lines.
said,
Yellow flag,
do
caution.
you think the Quest 3 is better than the Pro?
Looks like V5 spinned it. Green flag, sector 1.
As far as features goes, the Quest Pro is a better headset, but I'm fed up with some of the stuff that's been happening to me with the Quest Pro.
Hans Katone said, did you check the mirrors on the left and right?
Yeah, Hans, I was telling everybody about that, about the Detroit Lions on the left mirror and the Michigan State Spartans on the right. Like right there and right there. Thank you so much, my friend.
We think that's Muller has stacked it.
So to come back and answer that question about the Quest Pro versus the Quest 3, the bottom line is the Quest Pro disconnected on me a couple of times this week. And one of them was right in the middle of a race and it sent me straight into the wall. The headset disconnected from the PC and I ran straight into the wall. I can't trust the headset anymore.
Sector 2 is now green.
95.
Okay, Clay, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. Track limits.
Now what the Quest Pro does have over the Quest 3, the Quest Pro has better panels. They have dual mini LED panels with local dimming, which gives the Quest Pro better colors than the Quest 3. The audio isn't as loud as the Quest 3, but it definitely sounds more stereo.
The gap behind is now 5.6 seconds.
The Quest Pro also has eye and face tracking, which I can't use on this game. Now, what the Quest 3 has over the Quest Pro is the Quest 3.
02.58.
The Quest 3 has the latest Qualcomm chip. So it has more processing power than the Quest Pro.
Okay, Clay, just cut the track.
The Quest 3 has a wider field of view versus the Quest Pro. The Quest 3 has a field of view of 105 degrees versus the 90 degrees of the Quest Pro. The Quest 3 also has louder audio. The Quest Pro's audio sounds better, but the Quest 3's audio is louder. And because of the Quest 3 having a better processor than the Quest Pro, in both standalone and PC mode, the headset is capable of going up to 120 frames per second versus the 90 of the Pro. But I stay locked in at 90 frames per second because by staying locked in at 90 frames per second, I still have a lot of overhead.
Left, 2 minutes to go.
I still have a lot of overhead to play with my graphical settings and the resolution. So like right now, I'm running this at medium settings, but I'm running it at an upscale 3400p. If I wanted to, I could still run it at that upscaled resolution, and I could turn it all the way up to ultra settings. But because I'm streaming, even though I'm using the 2 PC setup, because I'm streaming, I want to save some of the overhead for any other apps that I might have open, OBS, Crew Chief, all that other stuff. That's a back marker in front of me.
Cut the track. Keep it nice and tight.
Oh boy. Thank you.
It's over. Bring it back round. Okay, pit stop requested.
That was not a good race. Now, you might say that because I finished in 4th, and you might say, well, that's not a bad finish. Well, it's a bad finish when I was expected to qualify 2nd and I was expected to finish 2nd. Not to mention, even though I was only 1 second off of the fastest lap, like 1.1 second, it felt like they were blowing me out of the water. I felt super slow that race. Man, that car sounded good. All these cars sound good in this game. All right, everybody's accounted for. Let's go back and see what we gained or lost for rank. It's possible that I may have lost rank And I could end up, yep, I lost rank. I got knocked back. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Yep, I lost rank. I just got knocked back down to bronze.
Courtney McGregor, gaming with UNC, said, "What about vertical desktop?"
I'll answer that in a second. Look at that. I lost 6.2%. What car did I use? Ended up using the Ferrari last time. The Corvette GT3 is a dangerous car. I remember. I turned in my fastest lap with the Lexus. I would normally, the Porsche is normally my car. So to answer that question about virtual desktop has advanced enough where in terms of latency is just as quick as using the cord. There's two reasons why I don't use virtual desktop. Number one is I do believe that the cord probably taxes your PC less. I haven't used virtual desktop in a while, but when I used it about 4 years ago, it was taking up like 50% of the GPU. That's insane. The other reason why I don't use virtual desktop is because my experience will last only as long as the battery. So these Quest 3s and Quest Pros or whatever, they have a battery life of about 2 hours, 2.5 hours of continuous play. If I'm using the cord, it slows the dissipation of the battery down to the point where if I'm using the cord, I could probably go 6 to 8 hours before the battery gets low enough that I have to shut the headset off and let it charge. There's also cords you can buy. There's also link cables you can buy that has a charger that charges the headset while it's in use. But yeah, those are the two biggest reasons I don't use virtual desktop. So I don't know how much it taxes the PC in terms of the GPU. And then you also have to keep in mind that I also have OBS open. Even though I'm using the 2 PC setup, I'm doing the NDI plugin, which requires OBS to be open on both PCs. And even though the OBS on this PC, even though it's not streaming, it still taxes the GPU a little just for the simple fact that it's open. And so my whole purpose is to try to avoid taxing the PC unnecessarily. So I think virtual desktop would not only tax the PC unnecessarily, it may shorten my experience since the battery on the headset's only going to last about 2.5 hours. And with driver swap coming up, my teammate Hanez Katoni and I, we've talked about right now, I think we're fine with doing a 6-hour race because it's just me and him right now. But you know, if we add anybody else to the team or we do a 12-hour race or something like that, and I end up having to do a double stint, I need to make sure that this headset is going to have enough battery to get through that double stint. And it would not happen with virtual desktop. And another thing is, since I'm sitting down and I'm not moving around, the cord is not an issue to me. Damn, I spent all that time in the Corvette getting used to the Corvette. Now I got to come over here and try to get used to this Lexus. And with these GT3 cars, especially if they don't have tire warmers, the tires are going to be ice cold during the first couple of laps. And that's when the most chaos is bound to happen. Braking's not as good. Cars are very understeery. And exiting the apex, if you give it too much throttle, the car is prone to step out on you.
Courtney McGregor, gaming with UNC, said, "Got you. Thank you, brother."
Absolutely, you're welcome. All right. This car doesn't have a rear camera, unless that's supposed to be the rear camera.
Mid exit's clear, push. We need to get some heat into these brakes. 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes. Sector 2. Incident in Sector 1, yellow flag. That's the end of the session, P2.
So I am in split 2. And I am ranked number 3. Oh my God. I'm going to end up losing more rank. I do not like being ranked high.
All clear, push now. Okay, Clay, we've got 4 minutes to get a decent lap in. Your brakes are cold, take it easy. That's 2 minutes left, 2 minutes.
Got one more shot.
Fastest lap for Robert, 150.83. Car in front has just posted at 153.29.
That time was a 152.87.
Sector 3 is 1.3 seconds off the pace. Watch the track limits. That's the end of the session, B12.
That's still dog shit. I did a 150.8 with this car a couple of days ago. I will say that if you hit your brake markers, the car does trail brake pretty good. I don't think it handles. I don't think it handles bad.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Laps. All right, we'll leave it there. Only thing I could say about this is I believe I qualified in the upper half, and assuming I don't get wrecked, I should finish in the upper half. I'm still going to get negative, unless I win this race, I'm still going to get negative rank. So the only thing I can just hope for is that the loss of rank is negative, is minimal. And look for the perfect car track combination to try to get me back to silver.
Formation lap has started.
So, you guys ready for that? For 1.0 come Tuesday, we get 3 new cars. We get the Mercedes AMG LMGT3. We get the Aston Martin Valkyrie hypercar. And for those who already possess the Pack 3 of the 2024 DLCs, we'll get the BMW M4 EVO.
Green flag, green flag.
Hole and Dan Sock said, "Sup y'all."
Hole and Dan Socks, what's up?
Car clear left. Clear left. Sector 1 is yellow. Come on, Clay. Forget the start. Just get stuck in, mate. We think that Morales and Roberts have spun off. Looks like you got some minor bodywork damage.
Hole in Dan's sock said, "Good to see you all."
Good to see you too.
Green flag sector 1.
Hole in Dan's sock. Said. Well, that was terrible, lol. Hole in Dan's sock. Said. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, pretty much. That sums it up.
Yellow flag sector 3. Sector 3 is clear. Incident for sector 1, yellow flag. Green flag, sector 1. It looks like Vincent has spun off.
Lap 252.5.
20th place.
Hole in Dan's sock. Said. Would you quit in a situation like this?
Normally, yes, I would quit.
Pay attention to track limits, please, Clay.
And I'm still debating about retiring from this race and moving on to a different one.
Hole in Dan's sock. Said. Is it worth it to stay?
Nah, it really ain't.
The gap in front is now 7.1 seconds. The leader's just done at 150.92.
Hole in Dan's sock. Said. Just wondering, thanks Lincoln.
Yeah, I probably won't finish this race.
Pitting.
Lap 151.54.
The car in front is Morales. Run out of track limits, keep between the lines. To the 18, ahead is increasing. It's now 12 seconds. New fastest lap for Yanni, 150.73. 3 is now yellow.
Now I can retire. All I was doing was trying to see what type of laps I could turn in. So if I come back and do this race again, decide whether or not to keep this car. I was doing a better job in the GTE races. Jeez, only 2 people.
Hole in Dan's sock. Said. Yes, sir.
Damn. What they got for weekly races? Yeah. Yeah, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I think I'll just go ahead and leave it there. Damn, it don't seem like I was streaming 2.5 hours. Jeez. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me. Again, I'm still up in the air about whether or not to do the F125 stream and talk about the situation with Christian Horner getting fired and giving my 2 cents and pose the question whether or not Sky Sports contributed in Christian Horner getting fired. I did touch a little bit on GT7 streamers coming over to LeMans Ultimate, in particular the Key 25 and Digit Gaming. Key 25, I think he was transparent in saying that he thinks that LeMans Ultimate is the best sim out there right now, whereas Digit Gaming, he didn't really say which one
Dan's
was.
sock. Said. Take care.
Hey, thanks, Dan Sock. Digit Gaming didn't really say which sim he thought was better between GT7 and LMU. He basically said that GT7 is still his primary sim that he goes to, and that he'll do the Le Mans Ultimate streams whenever they have a bad week of daily races for GT7. And I was thinking about talking about our people from GT7 coming over to LMU because LMU is that good, or GT7 has gotten that bad. And if I do talk about it, I will be streaming Le Mans Ultimate. If I were to stream GT7, I don't enjoy that game anymore. And the stream would be more negative than positive because I think Polyphony Digital has driven away some of their user base by regurgitating the same old daily races. People have been complaining about the custom slipstream, which I think is designed to give lesser skilled racers a fair chance, because if they can stay with a car through the curves, I guess the slipstream is so ridiculous that you can, slip right past somebody effortlessly. Also, new cars has been a joke. Ambulances, SUVs, I don't drive an Acura in real life to come home and jump on a game and drive a Honda CUV or whatever it is, CUV. I'm not coming home for that. I want to jump into a race car, and that's the other thing is GT7 has made no effort to add updated race cars. All the other sims on PC have updated race cars. They may not have every single car that's out there, but they do have updated race cars. So, you know, and GT7 is still using cars from 2015, you know, race cars. So that's crazy. You know, even Forza Motorsports has done a better job of adding updated cars to the game than GT7. So, all right, I think I rambled long enough. I don't have to work tomorrow, so we'll see how I feel when I get up in the morning. Come back and take another shot at trying to get back to silver. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you on the next one. You all have a good Friday night and hope to see you tomorrow. Until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever, long live the king, and deuces. We'll see everybody. Have a good one.